Okay, everybody, let me get the right sport up, and then I'll invite Bobby, and then we'll be ready to go. What are we going to do first? I think it's baseball. Okay, let me invite Bobby here, and we'll be off to the races. One sec. Ooh, look at this. I got a little slow here. Let's try again. All right, let me just text him. Okay. Let me get MLB up first. It'll be put this up here. There's Bobby. Let me just. I'll be right with you, Bobby. Let me just do this first. We'll rank this, and then we'll get this up here, and then we'll let him in. All lineups are in. All right, where is he? He is right here. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's a little freaking annoying having guys on base and a 5-man Dodger stack sitting in the money in some of these things, and they all freaking they didn't get my last at bats. It's like a little frustrating.
That is frustrating. It's it's rough sometimes with those things. The weather was a bitch today, and unfortunately, we've got to talk about it again tonight.
What's the danger tonight?
Oh, the Nationals game, I think, is legitimately may not play. Well, may play with a delay. I don't know what it's going to be, to be honest with you. I can't tell. I'm going to make a wise bit of advice that even if you have us on at 6:30 Eastern, listen to Roth's 5-minute breakdown on the weather, because Washington, on top of it being that it looks shaky, it's that it's Washington too. They will cancel. They've announced they're playing and canceled after lock in this exact situation before. They're the worst in terms of heads up from grounds crews, I feel like, of anybody. So just keep that in mind. And I pivoted over. The thing is, depending on what Roth says and what everybody else sort of gathers, you may actually get Scherzer lower owned than you think. So I'm not playing him in my big one on FanDuel. I am playing him in all my secondary ones. I don't think it's like a guarantee that he's like that the game's not. I mean, it just looks really bad. It doesn't look like it gets a whole lot better, but it is thunderstorms, so it's not necessarily. And then it's really the whole slate. It comes down to this.
So, what do you think of situations like what happened today? Like they had a delay, not a really big delay at Cincinnati, and it wasn't bad enough for Luis Castillo. You know, he came back out, but Peralta, they decided to not let him come back out. That was kind of strange, no?
I said it about Peralta. I said I was more worried about Peralta than Castillo, depending on how long the delay is. Because
but why is that? Because of pitch counter? Because of the type of pitcher?
It's just the type of pitcher. They tend to let. Well, no, I mean it's the leash. It's everything. It's how teams manage their pitchers, and they have a great bullpen in Milwaukee. Peralta is not the ace of the staff, or close probably. He's really good. But I think you'd say Woodruff and Corbin Burns ahead of him. So they're treating each other different. They treat it differently, in my opinion. This is a weirder one. Scherzer is a guy who you can feel comfortable with a little delay. When he goes out there, he's going to get his pitches in. But if it's we don't know what the delay is going to be. We didn't know earlier, And if the delay was probably 30 minutes longer, an hour longer, you probably don't get Castillo back in, and that would have been very possible. The weird part of the canceling of the Dodger game is that usually day games will be okay in those situations because they'll find a way to play it later, but there's just too much bad weather later, I guess. It's no fun with the weather stuff for me in baseball. Guys, thanks for coming in. Say what's up when you get in the chat, and say whatever your thoughts are on the slate. We'll go through our favorite plays, but it is important to just keep that weather in mind because, I mean, if you can fade a guy who's going to be 70-something% owned, and they don't play the game somehow, like you kind of have to do it. The problem is
I'm a little not annoyed, but actually I could fix this. Is that on FanDuel, as I mentioned earlier, I was going to be fading him anyway. But what's interesting is I was going to play Washington in the hitting, so it's like, so I gotta find a different non-Yankees stat to include with my Minnesota over there.
Yeah, I think that. I wish the weather was better in Oakland. I would like the A's more. The 60 degrees not my favorite time to go out to target players there. But there's some.
I'm gonna read something to you, and it's something you alluded to before, but I'm getting it from somebody else. It says I wouldn't usually do this, but it seems particularly relevant. A word of caution about Scherzer in the Nationals game. A few years ago, the Nationals delayed and then eventually canceled the game with barely any weather to preserve Scherzer and not waste his start.
Yep.
I would be a little more risk-averse here than usual unless the weather looks better.
I completely agree with all of that, and that's basically what I was saying. It just was just worded better. I was thinking it through. That's exactly right, I would say. And it just doesn't feel right. So I guess I'm gonna leave him in some of my secondary lineups because the flip side of this is people go the other way a little bit. I still think most people, if Roth says, and you get the weather reports from the other guys, which are basically biting off of him, which we are too. If they say it's a go, they're gonna go. I'm sorry, the people are gonna play it. If he says he thinks it's gonna happen, but he probably will allude to that same situation. And it happened another time as well, where it was Strasburg on the mound. So I actually remembered that specific one. I mean, I got crushed that night because of it, so I remember that one time. But yeah, it's rough, as you would say, it's rough business.
So who would your next pitcher be? Let's just say that
by a long shot.
What's that?
Rogers by a lot.
No. But DraftKings, you have to play two.
Oh yeah, Montas and Minor.
Do you have any preference between the two of them by a decent amount or a little or a lot?
Slight amount for Minor. I think he'll be lower owned, and I think that he's a. There's strikeouts in the A's lineup more. Me with this targeting this KC lineup, they just don't strike out, and I get it's hard for me even on small slates to get that out of my head.
Right.
If I'm going to make an argument for that. If I'm going to play that much of what's his name, why wouldn't I just play Zach Montas at maybe new chalk? Why wouldn't I just go ahead and play Greinke? Because he's not going to be owned. Or on the flip side of that game, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah,
I think those are both really, really logical, solid tournament plays.
I think I know what I'm going to do on DraftKings with the hitting. If I were going to play Scherzer and Rogers, I would have done something different. But I think that if Scherzer is questionable, for example, I think that the Astros are going to be much higher owned than.
I think the Astros are going to be high. I think it's trending a little bit that way anyway. So playing Rodriguez, you can get some real leverage there.
So what I was going to attempt to do is find another hitting team, and I'm thinking of that being Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto is my other team.
Yeah.
But I'm not stacking them fully. I'm actually just playing like 3-mans and 4-mans on DK. which is still, I mean, something.
Yeah, I mean.
But I like specifically Bichette. It's really hard to get to Guerrero, so I don't think people are going to do that. So that's the first thing I'd do.
Okay.
Play Guerrero. Let's see, 78.
Here's another just ultra random question. What do you think of this is like so random. What do you think of playing Chris Gittens?
Yeah, I'm playing him on my main lineup on DraftKings.
Okay. As part of a stack or as a one-off, though?
As stack, yeah. Okay. I think one-off in guys like that on a chalky offense, you want the extreme power in a good spot in that order or something if you're going to take a one-off in a chalky offense, you know?
Yeah.
Unless maybe if it's in Coors, you could make an argument for playing anybody, I guess. But yeah, and it's also like we really should be playing Gary Sanchez tonight, I think.
What do you think? What do you think of that catcher from Minnesota, the Rourke Fed?
He sucks in general, in my opinion.
Okay.
But again, I've only seen him in some bad spots for him, so just my visuals were. I mean, literally, I watched a guy on 6 pitches strike him out twice without him, and he swung at every one. He didn't come like within half a foot of hitting one of them. It was a lefty where they lost the game. It was the game they lost Garver, so it was a little bit tough on him against the kid with a good slider. It's getting and by the way, if we do get news on that Washington game, you get back into we can actually, if we get stuck, play a hitter against one of our pitchers tonight if you need to. And there are some you could consider doing that, which I think are kind of interesting. Like if you end up in the 4K range, which for a shortstop or a second baseman, it gets tricky. And you're going to end up there if you try and do what I was trying to do, which is basically to play Toronto with Minnesota.
Yeah, I think I figured out what I'm going to do over there. I could actually get all that Toronto stuff in.
I'm breaking my Grandal rule today as well.
Ooh, I like.
So you've got okay. This bear with me. I feel like I know these two guys like better than I know anybody else on any. They're Dodgers, and this guy caught him for most of his career. Like, I'll take that. We talk about guys who caught the pitcher, whatever.
Yeah.
But he like caught him for years and years, and they were like buddies. He's also batting 5th tonight instead of 6th. He's actually made better contact this year right-handed than in previous years. Ryu is oddly reverse splitsy, which weirdly could help him here because he tries to paint away so much that Grandal batting right-handed where he gets in trouble while he doesn't have powers, he ends up getting jammed all the time. This is way too advanced stuff for just talking about one at bat. I mean, literally, this play is not that great of a play. I'm just saying I am using him. I think it's a great pivot off of Sanchez, and I could literally play a popular stack, and I just don't think people are going to do that much. And by the way, we probably should be talking about Ryu. I know it's terrible. I know it sucks, but if we lose Scherzer, and even including Scherzer, other than Rogers, Ryu has the highest upside on the slate. It's not questionable. It's just a bad matchup. And the truth is, even in the bad matchup, like the Sox will strike out too. Like they'll strike out for you. It's not like they just have a lot of power. The speed gets nullified a little bit with the way that he pitches. So yeah. I'm okay with the Ryu Rogers combo. I mean, look, I feel like I'm just waiting on what's going to happen with the weather, what Ross says. And this is what you should do. And this is transparency, right? Like we want to give you the best information. If I'm not the best weatherman, I can relay information that I've got from that and a couple other weather sources, but I'm just taking their information and presenting it not as well as they will. So if you're playing tonight and you're playing serious money, especially, make sure at 6:30 Eastern that you do tune in to Roto Grinders. And no one from Roto Grinders gives me anything, so this is not me trying to plug them. It's just our job is to make you guys have the best chance you can to win, and in order to do that, the best other people, and that's what I would say. That is the best person.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He was wrong earlier today. That's one.
No, I am of the belief that there is an inherent bias towards him because he's really the only one. I do feel as though that we just accept the fact. Again, I'm just being transparent. We accept the fact that he's particularly good at this, just because he's literally the only one that from a major site that people, you know what I mean, that is a dedicated weather person.
Well, I'm gonna devil's advocate this one back because I've got another counter to that even.
And I will say that there's other sites that actually throw out percentages that, they say X% chance of postponement. And the fact is that unless accuracy has been tested, that it's all anecdotal. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that he's not great. I'm just saying that I'm not going to just presume he's great because he's the only person people just say he is. That's where I'm gonna. And he's a great guy and all this stuff. But that's
all the Weatherman awards you can win and everything for other things that have nothing to do with DFS. So, and also that's not my devil's advocate thing. My devil's advocate thing is that if so many people are listening to them and you're the smartest people who remember all these things about the stuff with Washington and you've got everybody paying attention, aren't you sort of thinking as a collective? Part of my thing with him is like I like to listen to him because I think that I can read into what his risk thing is because he doesn't want to take full blame if he's going to, be wrong. But if you have other ones with a percentage, give us some percentages.
Right.
That's what I would love to. I'd love to have some percentages. Got to ask the question about Sky Bolt. Guy's got some speed, and he's got a little bit of power in his minor league career, which really spanned over a bunch of years and never really made it like he's looks just fine, but like I'm not like excited about playing him. Other questions were in there I didn't see before. Do I use an analyzer for NBA? I'm glad you've had a great year, Michael. Congratulations, man. I had a really good NBA year as well. Baseball's catching up, but basketball was much better. And I do mostly hand build because I'm playing a lot of higher buy-in things. So if I'm going to max enter like the $4, $100, 150 entries if they do that one day, or the $8 or whatever. But usually I don't play. Every now and then for the $20, I'll do 100 entries if I really like a giant slate and I'm really dedicated to that slate and I'm on a roll or something. But I don't usually use an analyzer. I do use projections, but I don't use analyzers. I don't use a builder. In a large field, do I select Greinke as an option on DK? I do think Greinke is a good. I look now. I think with everybody else out, especially if people are going to continue to play Scherzer, I'm almost like on the fade in general now too because I like the chalky stacks. I want to play my Yankees. I want to play some Twins. So I'm going to probably be on the side of I think you try to mix in those other pitchers and treat it. They all have the upside. Like these guys are decent. Well, Greinke's not a fun roster, but he's 7,800. You get a huge savings there. Like you can do a lot more with your lineup, and you can get different in a lot of different spots. Like playing Vlad Guerrero at first in most of my lineups. That's a big one. Anyway, I digress.
What else I have here? Hang on. Home lineup confirmed. Just trying to see if I can get any more information on it. And on like anything from all my different places. Let me just see. Baseball.
Hey, get out of here.
Wilson. Charlie's getting scratched. It's terrible. A's lineup is in.
Guys, fire any more thoughts or QQs, and it's going to be a weird slate until we know about this an updated weather thing. And to be honest,
so we're gonna wait a little. We're gonna wait a decent amount on that actually.
And I'll say this too. Can you get out of here? Sorry, this cat's driving me crazy. It's not my cat. This is what you get for cat sitting. Always a mistake. I think that the Royals outfielders are cheap, and there's a lot of really good cheap outfielders on DraftKings. So where like you could play the game of, boy, even if Judge and Stanton both hit a home run tonight, I could play Soler, Larnach. I mean, Larnach will be owned, but Soler, Larnach, Kyle Tucker, and the outfield for the Astros are way underpriced. But I have a feeling they'll get some owners. But the lefty might keep some people off of them, so I don't know.
Yeah. Just so you know, that is Adam has a very, very like a question that I've been pondering every day for at least 10 minutes, and I haven't quite figured out the best way to do it yet. When I do an updated projection run on the site, is there any way? I mean, there is a way, but am I going to timestamp it so that people know, or at least can gather like to what at what stage of the day it was done? In other words, if it was after, say, Chris Middleton got ruled out, or if it was after, a certain ownership run was done. And while I'm not, we're not good enough to have it automatically timestamp like all day long, I am inclined to change the title of the post or something to DK projections and then a time maybe. Since I'm only because Bob, since I'm going on there anyway to change the date, it's just an extra couple of seconds maybe to go back and do it again to change the time. The only thing is when you do see it on the site, we'll say on the Google sheet, I think last update a certain time. I think. Let me. I'm actually going to look at that right now and see what it looks like. So like here, yeah. So it says like 7 hours ago, right? Because that's when I first changed the title. But I think no, it doesn't say when the last update was. Okay. Yeah, it says last. See, this is the problem. It says last edit was 28 minutes ago. So it says if you go here, it does. But if you look at it from the main view, it'll say posted 9 hours ago. So you're going to have to, because I didn't actually, when I uploaded the new projections, I didn't change the title. And so it's not going to look at as if a new post was posted. Just the information will update and it'll show here last edit. So I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about the best way to do it that combines me not taking too much time and people knowing exactly what's what. So I am very, very happy that you pointed that out, Adam, and I will deal with that.
Thanks for doing that, Adam, and thanks, Sheets. I'm going to just answer a few things. Like, yeah, Tony mentioned the same thing that is the reason I'm starting to wonder about the Scherzer ownership too. Like, I mean, we'll see in 7 minutes, I guess. Let's revisit that. But I do think that there's a reasonable chance that if people really do all jump off and the game is like 50-50 to play, I think you should probably take some shots. I really do. Cheat, so you said the percentages thing. I can't get over it. What are the percentages?
I got to find it again.
Okay.
I don't know. Like every once in a while, I'll just see it flash. I think from Awesome or something. XYZ X% chance. I don't know how to access it on a regular basis. You know what I mean? I just
okay. Well,
we should see it flash across my. You know what I mean?
I'll be getting that done because it would be really helpful right now. Because that is how we should be thinking about it. That's pretty awesome that they do that. Yeah. So question from the Red Pill. Like the hard part about this question is that should he switch from a Montas Houston stack to a Ryu and Minnesota stack? I don't understand the question because that's basically asking what lineup do I play? Like that's your call. You know what I mean? Those aren't like nothing's happening that should affect those stacks, right? Like if you're playing Montas and you like Montas, play Montas with Houston and Houston. Ryu and Minnesota, those are two of the most popular stacks. I don't think those are like that's a hard question for me to answer because that's deciding 7 players on your lineup, but I don't know what I don't know. 6 players in your lineup, excuse me. So I don't know how to answer that question specifically. I wish I could do. If you're asking which one I prefer Houston individual bats and I prefer a Minnesota stack, but not a full stack of Minnesota. I don't have any 5-man. They're all 3 and 4-mans because the Yankees have a terrific bullpen. So I don't think we should treat this like okay, they're just going to get lit up right away. Give up 1 million runs anyway. Anyway, so, but I'm sorry, Red Pill, because I would like to be able to answer that. It really comes down to what you want to do. Like that's your lineup. That's the entire decision that you're making today. If you're playing DFS, what am I going to do? but I can tell you what I'm doing.
Maybe it's on Run Pure. I'm gonna find it.
I would doubt that Run Pure would be able to be the ones who do it.
No, I know, because what happens? I see it. I see it flash from time to time across my notifications, but I just don't remember.
Hey, get out of here.
What source it was from. Almost rather do the publishing. Less than before.
Go.
Risk. Put you to play half one.
Isn't it crazy that Clint Frazier, if he was batting like 5th or 6th tonight, he'd be like 40% honed, and because he's batting 9th, he's going to be like 2%. I'm going to do a little bit of that, I think. That's the way you differentiate in the chalking stacks, is just to try to find the low ownership guys. And Clint Frazier is every bit as likely to hit a home run as maybe not Andujar and maybe Urshela, though. It's probably pretty close.
No postponement risk on the projection on the – hold on. No postponement on the projection on that Washington game seems off. So is it part of the Osmo projections? Let me just see. That I can look at. Let me see something.
Hey, down. This cat. Okay, I gotta get this cat out of here. Sorry, guys.
I got a funny clip to show you in a minute. MLB. Just projections. Let me just see something. MLB projections. Oh, here it is. Okay. So right now I see it's pretty primitive, but right here I just see, and again, this is just what I'm reading off of another site. So I see a 5% postponement risk, but I don't know how often it's updated.
Okay. I mean, take that for what you're willing, and if I don't know how real it is either. So, but I appreciate the heads up on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's one. Okay, so here's another one. So here, just so you know, so this is another. Since I claimed that this guy was the only one, there are others, and I will throw this guy in there again. I'm going to follow him just because, and I have no idea how good he is. So, but this is a Twitter follow I just picked up. Mark Paquette, DFS meteorologist. So I'm going to throw him in the list of people I follow. Current DC radar. He posts the radar on here. Keeps on updating it. Simulated rain radar 7 p.m. So again, I'm now following him. I literally don't know the extent of his accuracy or anything, but he's certainly somebody to whatever. Real advisors from the Mets rain out. I gave my members a real. So this guy has members. I mean, you know what I mean? Like he has a thing.
Sure.
I don't know where he's from, but.
Yeah, I think that. So Roth says too much risk in cash games. That's good enough for me to fade a guy who still might have cash game like ownership.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Do you want? I mean, I probably have to leave at like 7. So, do you want to do like 15 minutes?
Yeah, let's do. Let's talk basketball if you want to. Let's do that.
Sure. Hold on, was that the same thing that was in that in Chile?
Double checking all my little sources here and seeing if there's anything I can find out about this. Yeah. Thanks, Adam. I saw that tweet from Roth. So.
Is that what you want to do?
Well, yeah, we'll do some.
Sorry, Stacey was talking to me.
Oh, sorry. You're talking to me or her?
Stacey was talking to me. I didn't hear what you were asking me.
I didn't know whether you wanted to do it. I'm just trying to figure out. I can't really do NBA right now.
Oh, I just figured we'd do NBA for 15 minutes and then,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't want to leave my line. I've got a lot of Scherzer.
Yeah, no, that's.
And I'm happy to leave it in the smaller stuff. I just don't want to. I'm deciding whether I want to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw one more. Oh, I didn't change that yet. Okay, so we can change that. Let's see. Oh, that was there. So I'm gonna update the. Watch this. We're gonna. Do this live. Update my NBAs.
So, question is leaving what lineups to leave Scherzer in, and I think Montas is going to be really chalky now. So I kind of like fate going over to Minor, and I really like the idea of maybe going to either Ryu or Frankie. So in my main lineup, I'm probably going to go over to Minor.
Well, I'm just updating the site actually. Okay, so that's all changed. Just confirm that's the case.
So I'm just seeing the total on this game. Oh, that White Sox run total jumped a bunch. So did the Blue Jays. That's interesting.
CNBA. Okay. That's all looks good to me. Nothing really changed in the NBA for me except for the ownership a little bit.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You know who looks a little better now? I think for me in the NBA, Giannis is actually for me more of a of a priority than he was before. Like I was gonna just say, Durant and Giannis were the same for me, pretty much. Now for me, it's more Giannis. They're both gonna be very, very chalky, but whatever.
Yeah. The game was postponed.
It was, okay. I just saw that come off there. Okay. So that should be good. So with that game postponed, the first thing I want to do is change you guys could watch me do this live, my FanDuel, because my FanDuel lineup had Washington as my secondary thingy. So we're going to edit this. Probably saved me from myself. I was playing Rodgers anyway, fading Scherzer. Now I'm just fading having a 70% owned guy, right? I mean,
it's going to be natural that people are going to play more Ryu now, by the way, too.
Okay.
Because they don't necessarily want to entirely rebuild, and there's good value out there. It also might make guys like Taylor Larnach a little bit lower owned than they would have been, which I was thinking he was going to be like 500% owned.
Yep, these guys both came in to me with the postponement. That's good. And FanDuel stacks. So who was the next one going to be? It was going to be, because I can't play the Yankees. I don't want to owe anybody $500. And Washington's gone. Toronto I'm doing on DraftKings.
I like Toronto. I mean, they're a little easier on FanDuel too. So I like that though on DraftKings.
So the next ones I have on the list to go with Minnesota would either be Miami or Chicago. And Chicago's against Ryu, so that does give a little, does provide a little juice.
Yeah, both those sides of that game have a great shot at having a big night.
But everybody plays first base on the White Sox on FanDuel.
That's what's great. You get to play both of them, and it keeps the ownership lower.
Yeah, like you know where it might keep Sano's ownership lower.
I don't know if that many people are going to play the White Sox, though, so I'm not worried. Oh, you mean Sano because the double guys.
Because everybody else plays first base.
Wait, although not as much anymore for them. It used to be that way, but they don't have no Garver. We don't obviously no Astudillo, no. Who's the other guy they had at first base for a while? Well, no Marwin like last year. I think I have Bregman in every single lineup.
Meanwhile, here's a little bit of trivia. The guy who I don't know if you guys have all noticed, saw this when it happened, but the pitcher for the Yankees tonight, I think it's King. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
He joined a very sort of select list of pitchers in his last outing. Despite the fact that I picked up the loss, he pitched an immaculate inning, which is not that often that happens.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yep, 9 pitches. 3 strikeouts. Yep.
Nope. There's these super immaculate innings. Have you seen that? There's like 2 or 3 of them, I think. I don't think there's that many.
And what's that? That's
12 pitches where one of the pitches gets away from the catcher.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like somebody put it up once.
Wait, what? What the hell is that? That's
not that happening. Or I mean, you get 4 strikeouts in an inning, that happens. But to have it happen on 12 pitches.
Oh, okay. You get 4 strikeouts. Okay.
Yeah, 4 strikeouts on 12 pitches.
That's actually happened?
It's happened like a couple times.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the strikeouts, that'll happen multiple times a year, the strikeouts in an inning thing.
Only a couple guys had multiple examples of that, though.
Yeah.
So let's do this by position then. So which of these teams – the White Sox have no second baseman, right? Right? I'm not playing Leroy Garcia. I don't need to. Toronto doesn't have second baseman. Oh, yeah, they have Simeon, right?
Toronto.
Yeah. Simeon. And then we can go with Teoscar, Grichuk, and then I presume – it's as if they do this on purpose. Like, this is exactly what I want. I'm exactly $100 over.
I feel like it all the time. I know it's not that way literally every time.
So let me think. So what I'm going to get the best of these guys. I'm going to just find my best value, and that'll be the one swap off and my one off. Let me just see what I got here. On FanDuel, what time is it? Oh, 6:40. On FanDuel, no, I don't want draft. I don't want NASCAR. FanDuel. Okay. To be honest, oh my God, why is everything so hard for me today? Okay, so in the outfield, it doesn't quite work. Okay. So is there anybody who's 2,900 in the outfield that I really, really like on FanDuel? No, not really. Is there anybody at shortstop at 2,600 that I really like? Nope. Anybody at first base at 2,400?
All right. Let me see. Any other questions, guys?
I'm just still struggling with this. Either 2,900 or 2,600 outfielder.
I don't care, Adam. Maybe a little warm there. Previous good hitting conditions in similar situations. That's my guess for why the game is a little bit like that. I wouldn't overly think about it too much. That's just me.
Oh, this was easy. That was too easy. All right, that's done. Can't believe I made that so hard on myself. Okay, so that's done. All right, beautiful. For those of you that saw it, great. So now I am going to have to deal with DraftKings, right? So there's no Washington game. My hand built, I think. Let me pull that up. I'm happy with my big ones. Like I'm you know what I'm doing? I'm doing both. I'm doing Rogers Minor and I'm doing Rogers Montas.
Yep.
But the lottery ones, I don't know. You know what? Let me just see what I got here. So we can do this. Show you guys how I do this. That's NBA. The NBA will take me 5 minutes. DraftKings might be a little more. Oh, good. I have this. They took the game out. Oh, good for them. Excellent. Okay. Took the game out, and then we're going to go. See how many lineups do I have to recreate? Let me just see. So 1, 2, 3. So I need 9. That looks good. Oh, it is 9. Okay. See what this looks like. Actually, I only need 8.
So my ownership's on DraftKings: 76% Rogers, 45% Minor, 27 Ryu, 24 Rodriguez, 20 Greinke, and 15 Montas.
So you wouldn't getting some Boston now. All right, fire that up. And I'm done with drafts. So what I'm doing with I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Let me tell you what I've been doing with the NBA. I mean, I've been just literally relying on my projections and ownerships, and letting Saberson build lineups for me in the lottery tickets, which basically is the algorithm that combines ownership and correlation and whatever and my custom projections. That's literally. And then what I do is then I just eyeball them, just make sure nothing looks particularly stupid, and then I just kind of roll with it. So that's what's been working. So I'm just going to do that again. So I'll literally show you guys how I do that. and I wouldn't do this if I was hand building or a big buy-in, but for this type of thing, for MMEing, again, this is just what's been this worked for me all year. So this is especially on 2-game slates like this, because I always end up I always have this natural draw to the chalk, just like too much. So I'm trying to just whatever help I can get to avoid that. So let me see what it would look like. So we're going to hide this. See, this I can't show you, but I can show you this. Hold on, let me. Yeah, you weren't one time when you weren't here, Bobby, and I did it myself. I literally went through like the entire process, and I didn't like stop talking for like literally an hour. That was a lot of fun actually, and everybody's like, "Well, that was sick." And I think I won that night, which is even weirder.
That's
Let's
great.
see. Okay, so all I'm doing is I am re-uploading, and this is like the newest projections that I have right in here, and then we are just new building, and I am keeping the one hand-built one that I made, so that's why you have 19 that I'm making, and then I'm just going to I'm not going to show this because this is not on a DraftKings thing. This is just like, the way the optimizer works, and just whatever showed up there, I'll just do it that way. So I got it off there. I'm just putting in. I'm just telling you that's what I'm doing. Let me just take a look. I just want to make sure I don't have like 5 in one game. No, these look pretty good. Like this, like I said, here's a cool thing SaberSim does. Like it'll show you like your breakdown. Like one, I have a 3-2-2. 3 one team, 2 team, 2 from another. 4 is fine. I just didn't want a 5 from one team. So we will download these. Boom. And then this is what this looks like to the average man. Then we will edit these. I got to do shit. I got to do FanDuel too. So we are just going to replace those with these. I wonder if I still have an inordinate amount of Drew Holiday, because that's what I had last time I did this. Let me just see. So my ownership's now in the NBA. My highest owned players, I have 90, almost 100 of a couple of guys. I got almost 100 of Mike James. I got almost 100. Wow, I did it again. I have 90% Drew Holiday. So God knows how that ever gets there. But we'd see that Giannis totally has to take the whole game over. But we will.
I like it, actually.
We will see what happens. I guess the guy I'm under on is Durant. As a matter of fact, yeah, I only have 25% Durant, so that's where I'm under. That's my significant under. Let me do FanDuel. What else do? FanDuel baseball, FanDuel basketball? FanDuel basketball, right? Okay. I'll do the same thing for FanDuel. I multi-entered there, so I'm multi-entered. I entered 30 lineups there, so that's what I'll build. So this is again, like once, like if we actually do a thing, Bobby, with SaberSim, what I'm going to do.
Yeah, let's get that set up.
Is something like this. So what I already set up whenever I run a projection run on my own macros, my own spreadsheet, it automatically puts this. I have an own tab just for SaberSim uploads where it says NBA FD Sim upload. So it's already in the format that SaberSim wants.
Right.
So when I upload it, it's I don't have to fiddle with it too much.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do a thing with SaberSim, I'm sure that they can work out some way where we can make that work.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do FanDuel over here. Then we're going to go upload. We're going to do this, and we can cheat a little bit because let's do this. We're going to upload these, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have it do the late swap thing. So we're going to download the entries that I have already. That was on the other monitor. I'll put it up in here. And then what this can do is this can swap all these for what you want. So, boom. Let me just take a look and see. No 5 balls. That's good. I guess you can't do. My high. Well, I'm not that high on anybody over here. Well, 6. That's pretty high. So I have my highest owned player on FanDuel is going to be Blake Griffin.
I like it. I'm fading Mike James for what it's worth in the big one.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah, well, you'll never hear me argue fading chalk.
I know.
So that's good. Who else do I have here? That's too much. Not too much. I got a little everybody on FanDuel. Let's see.
My issue is I've got Bobby Portis some, and I don't see I'm wondering why they even would get him in there.
I've got I got 25% of him on FanDuel.
I've got him in my main lineup on FanDuel right now. I'm trying to get him out there.
Oh yeah.
But it's just hard. I have to change my build entirely to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with playing PJ Tucker at minimum. There's no we don't get any value at small forward at all, which makes things a little bit weird.
Any speculation for? Oh, did you answer this about why the Toronto White Sox?
Yeah, I answered that.
Over? Okay.
I answered that.
Here's the thing. I don't know if you saw this, Bobby, but CP, who's actually very, very knowledgeable, is not vouching, but he's commenting. He's heard of Piquet, and he's pretty good, the weather guy. So it's just another tool to put in your arsenal. It's another guy to follow.
Absolutely. Wow, it forces me into something I really don't want to do.
The other thing I would say, by the way, is that I do think that for career and survival reasons, I think that someone like Roth and Roth himself tends to be, I don't want to say overly conservative, but extra conservative. He doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to miss something being postponed. That's why. I really feel as though a lot of these yellow oranges, for example, really are just going to play. You know what I mean? But he wants to not to cover his ass because that's kind of demeaning. You know what I mean? I think that
he's pretty direct now. He'll say that I would play this game if it was this and that, and if it was cash, I wouldn't do this. I actually think he does a really, really good job. So I don't want to. I'm not on that.
So my point I was trying to make, Jason, is, and again, this is just the way I think about things, I think about life and all this stuff, is that it's not whether Roth sucks or not. I think that we're just not. I just don't think that I'm equipped to judge, right? Because again, he hasn't actually been quantified. He hasn't been tested. And now there are people that, like you said, Bobby's point's well taken. If everybody's listening to him, he's got to be good. You know what I mean? That could have some merit. And but my point is that just because people, you know what I mean, he's the top guy at the top place, doesn't necessarily mean that he's good. You know what I mean? So that's just one. Jason, you can say he sucks. It's totally fine. This is as long as you're not criticizing stupid stuff for no reason. This is freedom of speech. And it's possible. It's possible that he does. I just don't know. And it's possible he's great. I just don't know.
I worked with him for years. He's excellent. I'm not gonna. In general, you can have your things. I don't like making. I just don't agree. I'm not gonna. I will vouch for him. I think he's excellent at what he does. But what do I do here? Literally, I need a small forward option, and I have got nothing. Nothing.
Small forward option where?
On FanDuel, that I need one under 5,200. There is literally not one.
Small forward.
I mean, it's one of those things where there are none, right? Is that the story?
There's literally like not. I mean, TLC would be the closest thing to a play to give you an idea. And he played 7 minutes, his high in like the last month, in the last game. Oh, brother.
I mean, it's.
I have so much Rajon Rondo. How much Rondo do you have?
I don't think I have any.
He's like my number. He's my main line on both sides.
Small forward. I mean, under 5,200. No, I mean it's Joe Harris. That's it. I mean, there is nobody under 5,200, right?
Yep.
There's literally nobody under 5,200.
It's just forcing me into a really terrible spot, and I actually like what I did elsewhere. So it means I'm going to have to probably play Rondo in both my big ones. That's unfortunate.
Rajon Rondo.
I guess I could take a shot with any of these other guys, actually. The Clippers are going to mix things up tonight, guys. Don't be surprised if you see guys playing who you wouldn't expect at all.
Why would they do that, though?
They just lost, and their small lineup didn't work well for them, especially down the stretch.
So are you still on what's his name, Zubac?
Yeah,
okay.
But not on FanDuel. Well, I would like to actually get to him on FanDuel over Portis, but that's really how just to tell you how my builds go. That's who I'm using. Like that's it.
You know, I just want to say, hold on a minute. This is like ridiculous. I just want to hand check something before I comment on this.
What was it?
I'll tell you in a second. Let me just make sure. So I just want to make sure this adds. They got I'm just looking at some of the different ownership projections, like Rudy Gobert 9% by one place. That just can't be. I mean, like,
yeah, I don't know about that.
But they're adding to 100, so I'm just like trying to see where they're. Oh, so these guys got Derek Favors at 25%, which ain't happening.
I see why it's like that, though. I'm stuck in the same spot.
Oh, really? You're just being drawn down there. You mean?
Oh, there's no way I'm paying up at center. I can't with the build I'm trying to do.
But what does pay up mean? I mean, like you play.
I'm not playing Lopez either, so I'm just paying
Okay.
5K or below.
Yeah, hang on.
The superhero play is play Cousins.
Yeah, that is the super something play.
I do think Reggie Jackson will come out aggressive, and I like Reggie Jackson tonight. Just for what it's worth, because we didn't really talk about that.
Hey, Rondo, it's a nationally televised game.
No, I mean it's a playoff. This is what he does.
No, I'm kidding. It's like they're all nationally televised at this point.
Yeah, no, I mean this is his thing though.
All right, I guess I'm gonna get going. Let me see any other questions. Let me just see one other thing. Okay, just double checking something. Yeah, Jason, I'm down with that comment. The best is truedfs.com.
There you go.
That's it. All right. Good luck, everybody. And I don't know if I'll be around tomorrow. I'll try. Otherwise, tomorrow night. Otherwise, yeah, you'll hear from me. I got all kinds of degenerate stuff going on this weekend with MMA and all this stuff. I will. Good luck, and let's get a W tonight for somebody.